Wild hogs first appeared in Texas in the late 17th century. Originally just a few stray animals, but over time their numbers have exploded to over 2 million, causing more than $500 million in damage each year to agriculture and the environment. With the situation spiraling out of control, Texas authorities have taken drastic action, organizing helicopter hog hunts, turning the skies into a battlefield against these destructive beasts. We lifted off right as the clock struck 4 p.m. The helicopter soared into the sky, marking the beginning of our battle against the wild hogs. Look over there. Isn't that a massive herd of hogs? They're everywhere. I quickly loaded my rifle, held it steady, and began to take aim. The roar of the engine blended with the rapid-fire gunshots. With my opening volley, I landed a clean hit. The rest of the herd scattered in panic at the sound of gunfire, but we immediately gave chase, closed in fast, and opened fire. Within seconds, several more hogs were down. In another part of the sky, Neil's chopper was circling above the fields, scanning them with years of hunting under his belt. Neil had no trouble locking on targets and taking them down with precision as soon as they entered his sights. Our team pushed onward toward a wide-open grassland. This time Ralph was the shooter. The helicopter dropped to a lower altitude, giving us the perfect angle for a clean shot. Ralph steadied his aim and unleashed a barrage of bullets. Wherever we flew, hogs fell. The entire area turned into a relentless sweep, leaving no room for escape. What we really wanted was to find larger herds, since they cause the most destruction and reproduce at an alarming rate. After about 10 minutes of circling, we spotted the perfect target. We moved in swiftly. I didn't hesitate. I squeezed the trigger without delay, but with the constant vibration of the rotor, bullets sometimes veered off course. Often we had to fire multiple times before finally bringing them down. The next morning we were back in the air, ready to hunt again. This time with a new companion joining us. Our first destination was a stretch of land bordering the fields. It didn't take long before the first target revealed itself. A lone hog sprinting across open ground, but it couldn't outrun the hail of bullets raining down from above. It collapsed almost instantly. The helicopter pressed on steadily. This area wasn't dense enough for the hogs to hide, so no matter how fast they ran, there was no escaping their fate. Everyone stayed locked in and laser focused. Aiming and firing with deadly precision. In the blink of an eye, gunfire echoed across the sky, and the hogs dropped like flies, scattered across every stretch of land past. It was an inevitable fate for these invasive creatures whose rampage has haunted this region for far too long. Hog after hog fell, so many we lost count. But no matter how many we took down, it still felt like just a drop in the ocean compared to the explosive reproduction rate of the species. Wild boars are a nightmare for farmers. They dig up the ground in search of food, destroy pastures, and damage crops. What's alarming is that this invasive species reproduces at an incredibly fast rate, with each female capable of giving birth to up to 12 piglets per litter and reproducing twice a year. Local authorities have tried everything to control them, from setting traps, building fences, to using chemicals. But the boar population continues to rise. And that's why today our team has decided to head out, not just because of our passion for hunting, but also to protect the farmers' fields that are being destroyed by these wild boars every day. This morning the sun was gently shining and we began our hunt in a small forest behind a neighbour's house. As soon as we arrived, the team quickly set up the guns, took their positions, and waited for signals from the hunting dogs. After a while of waiting, the sound of barking broke through the air. A wild boar, trapped by the dogs, burst out of the forest, charging straight toward us. Seeing the opportunity, I moved the gun along with the boar's movements and fired. The first two shots just grazed its back, making it stagger. But with the third shot, the bullet hit its mark and completely brought it down. So we had our first trophy of the day. After carefully scouting the terrain for a while, we realised that this forest was relatively small and didn't have many wild boars. So the team decided to move to a different area. The pack of dogs was still full of energy, running ahead to search for prey. Thanks to that, as soon as we left the forest, we encountered the next wild boar. The boar was struggling to find a way out under a small stream. I calmly raised my gun and fired. A precise shot brought the prey down on the spot. On the other side of the stream, there is a gentle hill covered in thick bushes, as tall as a person, an ideal hiding spot for the boars. However, with a favourable vantage point and eyes always alert to the smallest movement in the trees, I would notice the boars the moment they moved. Sure enough, not long after, a dark shape quietly slithered between the bushes. Several gunshots rang out in quick succession. One hit but it wasn't a fatal shot. The boar panicked, turned around, and managed to run a few more meters in the opposite direction before collapsing and rolling down the hillside. After more than an hour here, the team decided to move to another forest area, one where wild boar packs frequently appeared. As soon as we arrived, the pack of dogs immediately picked up the scent of a group of boars hiding behind some dense bushes. I tightened the trigger, fired a few shots to flush them out. The entire group panicked and ran off with growls echoing through the deep forest. Then I spotted a wild boar still hiding under the trees. Not missing the chance, I lowered my gun and fired, successfully finishing off the target. The team ventured deeper into the forest to hunt for new prey. Less than half an hour later, a large boar entered my sight. We continued hunting into the late afternoon. Then the whole team stopped on a trail leading out of the forest, waiting for the last few prey before the end of the hunt. Suddenly, a wild boar dashed across the road, raising a cloud of dust. I instinctively reacted, raised my gun, and aimed decisively. Right after that, another boar dashed out and became the next target. Another precise shot brought the prey down on the spot. The sun slowly set behind the hill, casting a golden-orange light across the forest landscape. We turned back, retracing our steps on the trail, concluding the hunt with many memorable victories. As the sunset faded, we packed up our gear, filled with satisfaction after a long day battling wild hogs. But this fight isn't over yet. There are plenty more thrilling hunting stories and adrenaline-pumping adventures waiting for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our latest videos. Join us as we continue the mission to protect the fields and tackle new challenges. Thanks for being with us.